Hello everyone. So today we will study about Thomas Hardy and specifically his novel Far from the Madding Crowd. So let us just talk about Thomas Hardy for a few seconds. So he was influenced by Wordsworth. That is why we see so much of nature involved in Hardy's poems or novels. So all of his novels are based in an imaginary city called Wessex. Desperate Remedies and Under the Greenwood Tree were published anonymously. So these were the novels which were published anonymously. And one more thing, a novel, A Pair of Blue Eyes. So this particular work, it depicts Hardy's courtship with Emma. Cliffhanger originated from this story. So do remember this. And his very first novel is The Poor Man and the Lady. So let's talk about the novel named Far from the Madding Crowd. And as the title suggests, it is taken from Thomas Gray's poem Elegy written on the country churchyard. So here we meet a character named Gabriel Oak, and he's a young shepherd. So he had a sheep farm. There he falls in love with a newcomer, and she is 6 years junior to Gabriel, and her name is Bathsheba Everdeen. She arrives with her aunt and Mrs. Hurst. Gabriel and Bathsheba, they fall in love, and it so happened that Bathsheba, she saved Gabriel's life once, and Gabriel now proposes her for marriage, but she refused because she wanted somebody who is really rich, and Gabriel is feeling really betrayed. Now Bathsheba, she moved to Weatherbury, and there she employs Gabriel as Gabriel had become bankrupt. Now Bathsheba has a new admirer in the town. His name is William Boldwood, and she was so impressed by William Boldwood that she wanted to marry him, and she sent a valentine sealed with some red words, and she embossed the words "Marry me." And William Boldwood, he became obsessed with Bathsheba, and they are ready to get married. And Gabriel, he become really angry, and at this point we see Sergeant Francis Frank Troy, whose name, like, we call him Frank, but his actual name is Troy, Mr. Troy. He returns from his native Weatherbury, and he encounters Bathsheba, and he's big time infatuated by Bathsheba. And Bathsheba, she wanted to marry Mr. Troy because he is a very wealthy man and he is a soldier. Now Boldwood comes to know about this, and he swears of revenge by Mr. Troy. After some time, after the marriage of Bathsheba and Mr. Troy, Bathsheba discovers that the soldier is a gambler, and that they are married. So that is not a good fact that Bathsheba gets to know. Troy's heart belonged to Fanny. There is one more girl whose name is Fanny, and what happened that he promised Fanny to marry, but by mistake, Fanny, on the day of their wedding, she went to some another church by mistake, and Troy, he felt really humiliated, and he called off the wedding. And Fanny was pregnant with his child. Some months later, Troy and Bathsheba, they encountered Fanny on the road. Fanny was in worst condition. Troy sends Bathsheba home and gives money to Fanny. Gabriel got to know about all of this, and he knew that of this relationship, and he told everything to Bathsheba about the Troy's wife, that lover whose name is Fanny, that she is pregnant and she has a child. Bathsheba felt really bad about it, and Fanny dies after some time, and Troy, he made a tomb there in the remembrance of Fanny. Troy leaves and he is presumed to be dead. Everybody thinks that he is dead. Boldwood, he renews his suit with Bathsheba and is ready to marry. When Bathsheba is now ready to marry Boldwood, But now we get to know that Troy is not dead, and he goes to Boldwood's house, and Bathsheba is really surprised. They don't know what to do, and Boldwood, he shoots Troy, and now Bathsheba, she won't marry Boldwood because Boldwood is a criminal now, and at the end she marries Gabriel, and that is how the story it ends. And it is really tragic how Bathsheba, she has been cheated by all of the um, men, and Gabriel is the one who had the patience and the faith that Bathsheba will marry him, because they had a really good love in the starting of the novel, and Gabriel, he did that. And I have noticed a peculiar type of sadness or a very moral value in Hardy's novels, and there are so many novels by Hardy which is so nicely written. It just touches the heart. I really feel good about them. Anyways, let me know if you want to see any other summary, and if you liked it, make sure to like and share this chapter if you want to share with someone who want to know about it, and also subscribe. So I'll see you in the next chapter.